So today we will begin our first set of seam samples. We will be doing 4 seam samples total. Those are the straight seam, the corner, the French seam, and the understitch. So for all of those seam samples, we're actually going to use 2 pieces of fabric. So I'm going to begin by blocking 8 total 4-inch wide by 8-inch long pieces of muslin. So there's 8 total for 4 seam samples. Each one is using 2, and those will be 4 by 8 in dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and start off the process of tearing and blocking again. I have another piece of muslin. I have my selvage right here. So I'm going to go ahead and indicate my lengthwise grain parallel to that selvage and marked in far enough so that when I remove the selvage, my lengthwise grain directional arrow will still be there. This is the piece that I worked from last time, so I already have my torn edge here. I'm going to go ahead and measure up 8 inches. And go ahead and mark there. And then I'm going to go ahead and tear off this selvage. Mark this over a little bit further. Okay, just took my arrow with it, so go ahead and redraw that on there. And here's my mark. So I'm going to go ahead and measure over 4 inches now. And another 4 inches from there. And so on until I have 8 pieces identified. So here, I'm going to go ahead and snip at that 8-inch mark and start tearing across. And then I won't continue to mark the lengthwise direction on these because they're not squares, they're rectangles, and I'll know that all of the lengthwise pieces are on the lengthwise grain, all the long sides, the 8-inch sides. So I'm going to go ahead and start snipping and tearing. Otherwise, I definitely would, but these are going to be consistent. Okay. Start by tearing a few. All right. So they should look like this. I can tell that these are definitely not uniform, so they're definitely going to need some blocking before I start working with them. When I line up my edges to the corner, I'm off by almost a ½ inch. That's at least 3/8 of an inch. That's pretty substantial. So I'll go ahead and start blocking my pieces. This might be a little tedious since we're working with much smaller pieces of material. So like I say, you want it to be about 95% of the way there. I'll take this one, right? I'll call that a win. When I line up this piece, same thing. So we can see that just the weaving and the fiber and post-processing really has our fibers all out of whack. So we're blocking to realign them. Okay, that looks about good too. And I'll keep going until all 8 rectangles are blocked. All right, so I'm about ready to get sewing once I have the rest of my pieces done.